Good morning. One morning. And welcome to Unity of Greater Hartford. My name is Reverend Christine Boylan, and it is delightful to be with all of you on this not so sunny Sunday. Of course, we know that many others are watching on Facebook and on our website. So welcome to all of you. And we want to apologize for any confusion in our newsletter. We wanted to say that since we had our potluck last Sunday, that we would not have the potluck this Sunday, but we didn't put the right date in for the next potluck. Well, I looked at it too, Tony. I too didn't see it. So the next potluck is going to be Sunday, November 6th. And I want to also announce that we have two winners for the book, The Trance of Scarcity, and that the winners come from those people who have registered so far. So congratulations to Maria Main and Marty Espinola. Yay! So far, we have around 10 people registered for this class, and we'd really like to have a few more. Unlike other classes, this particular class is not so much about an intellectual understanding. Okay, I know you all read books. You know, I know you all attended classes, but there seems to be this gap, and I'm not ratting on any of you because I have it myself, where we read things in books and we go, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's perfect. But we somehow don't move it in to our very beingness. We don't embody the knowledge. And so it stays intellectual. It's better than nothing. But it's not really poised to change your life. It's not really set up then to change even a belief system that you're not even really aware of. So that's what this trance of scarcity is about. We get ourselves in a trance, and we don't even know it. So I really want to encourage as many people as possible to take this, because this is the class that will help you take that next step from intellectual understanding to actually embodying. So it will be you. But we have one big change. And that's about the starting date. So instead of starting next Sunday, okay, October 9th, it's going to begin on the following Sunday, October 16th. So I apologize for the change in the start date, but just a lot of things are happening, and we just had to let that be. So just take that with the new date is on the flyers, and later on I'll change it on the website. Now, yesterday I facilitated a memorial service for Connie Faber, who with her husband Bill used to attend this Unity Center. And I managed to find a church directory from 2009. I know you're all like, oh, please don't. I hope I'm not in it. But I'm going to put this out. There's a little table between two chairs in the atrium. And I'm going to put it out. And there's a little arrow that shows their picture. And when you see that, you may go, oh, yeah, Connie. So it was very lovely to be able to do that with her. And certainly, those of you who knew Connie and Bill, if you would like to have send a sympathy note or a sympathy card to the family, I'll make sure that it gets to her daughter Cheryl if you want to bring it into the church at any time. All right. And now many of you also know or knew our former board president, Scott Harrison. Next Sunday, October 8th, Saturday, thank you, I'm having trouble reading today. I had one eye operated on for cataracts and the other eye is not, so, yeah. But next Saturday, it says that right here, October 8th at 11 a.m., we will be holding a celebration of his life right here in the church sanctuary. So I hope that you will join us. It will be live stream to our Facebook and no, not to our Facebook, be live streamed to our website. But we'd love to have you here in person. It's going to be allowing a lot of time for sharing. And so we hope that, you know, if there is something about Scott that you'd like to share from your memory, you'll have an opportunity to do that. Following the service, there'll be some light refreshments in the community room. And so we invite people to bring some goodies for that. Bring some food for that. And if anyone can help set up and come a little bit early, that would be great. We're looking if you could be here 10:15 or so. Our prayer chaplains are stepping up and going to be as greeters and of course as prayer chaplains and being kind of hosts and hostesses for the day. So thank you to our prayer chaplains. Now for those in our sanctuary today, our greeters handed out a Sunday bulletin along with words to a song, and you also got a CD. And that's our gift to you, a door prize today. So thank you for being here. I hope you like the CD. But the order of service that you got and the songs, those pieces of paper, please make sure that you take them out of the sanctuary with you. And in the atrium, there is a basket. Just leave them there and we'll recycle them. And of course, if you're watching from your home, you can go on to our website, unityhartford.org, and right there, about middle of our homepage on the right, it'll say, click here for the Sunday bulletin. And you can do that, and then you too can follow along. Well, let's do that right now. Let's put that bulletin in front of us and look for the welcome affirmation. So let's say that together. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. And so thank you for all of you here, and for everyone at Unity is welcomed, valued, and included. So we again welcome all of you here, all of you on Facebook, and all of you on website. And if you're watching on Facebook, let us know you're there. Check in, say hello, send up an emoji. You have a wonderful opportunity to participate in this service. Now today is the first Sunday in October, so I want to introduce our monthly affirmation, which is on your bulletin here in the sanctuary and also online. And we ask that you include this monthly affirmation in your daily prayer practice. Many of you know that Unity started as a prayer service. And our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, would come up every month would create every month a affirmation. And they would snail mail it to everybody in the United States who wanted to pray with them. So we have brought this tradition back. We've been doing it now for several years. And so we ask you to join us in prayer every month, and we're all holding the same monthly affirmation. Of course, we expect that you add to it also. So our affirmation for this month is, as I pray first, my spiritual power of imagination supports me in creating and holding an expanded vision of abundance and prosperity. So I'm going to invite you to say that along with me, all right? So together, as I pray first, my spiritual power of imagination supports me in creating and holding an expanded vision of abundance and prosperity. And so let's take this affirmation into our prayer today. This morning we pray, affirming the wonder, the power, the availability of all our spiritual powers. In the silence, we become aware of the spiritual power of imagination. Imagination supports me in creating, in being a co-creator with the divine. And as We co-create. We hold an expanded vision of abundance and prosperity in all things. Expanded vision of abundant love, of abundant health, of abundant finances, of abundant joy, of abundant fun in all things. And so we hold this vision of abundance. And we are aware of the spiritual power of imagination, fueling this vision. And as we do, we take a moment right now in the silence to simply be and to hold that vision, to feel imagination, fueling that vision right now in the silence. Imagination. Imagination fuels our ability to co-create. Today, I co-create an expanded vision of abundance and prosperity. I co-create a world that works for all. And as I do, my heart overflows with gratitude. I am grateful. And so it is. Amen. Amen. So guess what? We have the choir with us today. Yay!
We're back.
So Carolyn, and welcome to you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good morning.
welcome.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning. So what are we singing?
So as we get settled up here, we are going to stand as we are able and as that is comfortable and join in singing together a song called Opening Up to the Good. All right. I am opening up to the good. I am opening up to the good. I am opening up to the good that is my life. I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy that is my life. I am opening up to the peace. I am opening up to the peace. I am opening up to the peace that is my life. I am opening up to the love. I am opening up to the love. I am opening up to the love that is my life. I am opening, 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 I am opening to the good that is my life. I am opening, 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 I am opening to the good that is my life. I just talk loud? Yeah. I can do that. When you grow up with 6 brothers, you learn to talk loud to get your needs met. Oh, here I am. Yay, all righty. Okay. So, as you know, and Reverend Christine also mentioned, that last Sunday was our annual church picnic and cookie contest. Rob was not there, so he did not win. We gathered at the Nevers Park Pavilion in South Windsor. We really had a good time, despite the wind that was enlivening the event there up in the pavilion. We had a great time. It says here the weather was great. I'm going to, I'll just read what's here. The weather was great, and the food was awesome. We did have a lot of fun and some very competitive. I don't know who was being so competitive. I'm not looking at Maria Main right now, but games like cornhole and darts and even magnet fishing, all very creatively done. So thank you to those of you who put together the games. They were fun. Darts were great. And thanks also for the cookies, and congratulations to the winners of the cookie contest. I didn't mean to imply that they didn't win simply because Rob was not there, but there is a tradition here. Olivia Soares won first prize with her chocolate cookies. Always a great chocolate, always a great choice, chocolate on chocolate. Louise Cox won second for her oatmeal maple cookies, and then we had a tie for third. Julie Elward for her Aunt B chocolate chip cookies, and Bonnie Rowe for her lemon square cookies. So thanks to everybody who contributed. They were all delicious. And again, thanks to everyone, all the volunteers who helped organize the event. And I especially want to give a shout out to the hospitality committee who got all the food over there and got it all set up. They did a great job. And just a reminder again, Reverend Christine just mentioned this, but the in-person class around the scarcity, the trance of scarcity, is going to be a 7-week Sunday class. It's never been offered here before. Again, the title is The Trance of Scarcity, and we'll use the book with the same title written by Victoria Castle. And sort of the tagline says, it's time to stop holding your breath and start living your life. I love that. So sign up as soon as possible. There are 10 people already signed up. We'd love to get a little more because it is kind of an engagement and an embodiment class. So it'd be great to have more people there to really experience this together. You can get more information from the flyer or in the newsletter, or speak either to Reverend Christine or the lovely Deborah Giddings. And then finally, please save the date for the annual church community meeting that will be held on Sunday, October 30th, right after the Sunday service. That same day, we will also be celebrating Halloween with a costume competition and a Halloween candy bar. So start planning your costume now, and also thinking about what you want to bring for the candy bar piece. Please bring in whatever you decide to bring the individually wrapped candies to add to the candy bar. All righty, that's it for the announcements. And that brings us to our meeting and greeting time. So again, we're going to remain in our pews as we have been, and as we offer each other the Gandhi blessing for peace, this call and response, prayer and blessing. So if you're able, please stand. And again, as you respond, just look around the sanctuary and offer each other the peace and love and friendship that we will mention in this prayer. For those online, you can also please stand and join us as you offer this blessing in your home, in your neighborhood, and also to all of us here in your spiritual community. So let's begin. I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
Our wisdom flows from the highest source.
Our wisdom flows from the highest source.
And I salute that source in you.
And I salute
Let us work together for unity and peace. And so it is. Please be seated. And please join me now in affirming our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotence. Amen. And now for today's daily word. Today's daily word is kindness, and the affirmation begins with, kindness is the language of my heart. I set the intention today to give from my heart, to show compassion and kindness to everyone I meet. I begin by being kind to myself. I take time for spiritual self-care and prioritize good nutrition, relaxation, and exercise. I am gentle with myself when I come up short, filling my self-talk with words of affirmation and compassion. Being kind to myself makes being kind to others easy and natural. I am patient and understanding, and I seek harmony and accord in my relationships. I let the small irritations go, remaining calm and pleasant. I look for ways to lighten the load of others and don't hesitate to offer a helping hand. My kindness helps create the kingdom of heaven on earth. For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. From Matthew chapter 25, verse 35. Again, kindness is the language of my heart, and so it is. Amen. Reverend Christine?
Catherine, will the ushers please come forward? And as our ushers come forward, I'd like to remind you at this time, this giving time in our service, that we can accept your credit card giving donations only on our website. You just go up to unityhartford.org and hit that donate button. Today, in the service, or certainly through the mail, we can accept checks and cash. So this is the time in our service when we have the opportunity to experience and express gratitude, love, and prosperity. We know that when we freely and joyfully give, we are opening ourselves up to the abundance of the universe. So whatever amount you are guided to give, take it in your hands or hold it in your heart if you are giving online, and bless it with your love. I would also ask that you consider giving an intangible blessing today. In addition to the tangible, think about an intangible gift. What intangible, what blessing would you like to bestow on this wonderful community of people? Perhaps it's kindness, perhaps it's love, perhaps it's prosperity, peace, comfort. Take that also in your heart. And then let yourself feel as grateful as you can to God in you as your one true source of all. And then please join me in our offering blessing that is in your bulletin today. Together, divine love flowing as me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive, and so it is. Amen.
Sow Good Seeds by Mavis Staples. So good seeds, everybody. So good seeds, everybody. On the mountain, down in the valley, you're gonna reap just what you sow. So by walking, so by talking, so by everything you do, don't mind no one, keep on sowing. You're gonna reap just what you sow. So good seeds, everybody. So good seeds, everybody. On the mountain, down in the valley, you're gonna reap just what you sow. Hark the voice of Spirit calling, it will gently wake your sleep. Work is done, the harvest waiting. Here am I, oh mercy me. They can talk about you, vilify you, call you everything except child of God. But pay no mind to what they're saying. They're gonna reap just what they sow. So good seeds, everybody. So good seeds, everybody. On the mountain, down in the valley, you're gonna reap just what you sow. So good seeds, everybody. So good seeds, everybody. On the mountain, down in the valley, you're gonna reap just what you sow.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was great. All right. Trying to decide if I leave my glasses on or not. Okay. What did I do here? Hold on. Give me a moment. I just realized I have these out of order. And that's okay. There we go. I tell you. Okay. Just a minute. Getting there. All right. I think I am going to take my glasses off. It's got to be better. Well, as you might have guessed, we're talking about sowing seeds this morning. And Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore, he wrote, "Words are also seeds, and when dropped into the invisible spiritual substance, they grow and bring forth after their kind." Now, most Unity Truth students do understand that words have power, and we strive to be careful with our words. We know that our words can spark a chain reaction. But where do our words come from? Any ideas? Where do our words come from? From where? Our heart. There we go. Anne has it. Our thoughts. The words have our thoughts because what do we know that everything begins within. So that word begins with a thought. All words have origin in thought. Well, I thought you insulted me, so that's why I said what I did. Oh, I thought you complimented me, so that's what I said, what I said, right? So, and I often heard people say, in a very self-congratulatory way, well, I thought it, but I didn't say it. Right? Well, don't pat yourself on the back too quickly. Mr. Fillmore, in the book Revealing Word, wrote that thoughts are mental vibrations or impulses. Thoughts are capable of expressing themselves. Every thought clothes itself in a life form. What's that mean? What's a life form? Well, a life form could be our words, could be an action, could be an attitude. So every thought clothes itself in a life form according to the character given it by the thinker. So the form, meaning the word, the action, the attitude, is simply the conclusion of the thought. It is the conclusion of the thought. And Mr. Fillmore tells us that thoughts are things. So today I want to spend some time digging deeper into how we form our thoughts and words. And to do that, we're going to look at a parable that was told by Jesus. Now, parables are very clearly not to be taken literally. Instead, they are earthly stories with a spiritual meaning waiting to be unveiled. And the story we're going to be talking about is the parable of the sower. And it's found in 3 of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, which means it's a very good chance that Jesus actually said this. Today I'm using the Gospel of Mark chapter 4. And it's interesting, Jesus begins with the word listen. He proceeds, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. I'm going to put these on, see how I'm doing with this. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants, so they did not bear fruit. Still, other seed fell on good soil. It came up, it grew, and produced a crop, some multiplying 30, some 60, some 100 times. Then Jesus said, "Whoever has ears to hear, let them hear." But later, when he was alone with the 12 disciples, he discovered that the disciples didn't understand the parable. And they said, "What was that about? Explain it to me." Poor Jesus. And very rarely, almost never, did Jesus explain what he said. But in this instance, he did. He told them, the farmer sows the word, truth. Some people are like seed along the path where the word is sown. As soon as they hear it, Jesus uses the word Satan, we could use the word ego, comes and takes away the word that was sown. Others, like seed sown on rocky places, hear the word and at once receive it with joy. But since they have no root, it only lasts a short time. When trouble comes, they quickly fall away. Still others, like seed sown among thorns, hear the word, but the worries of this life come in and choke the word, making it unfruitful. Others, like seed sown on good soil, hear the word, accept it, and produce a great crop. But then he ends this parable with this statement: whoever has will be given more. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. Wow. That sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? Yeah. Also, it doesn't sound very just. And this from our gentle Jesus. Wow. So again, we find out that I have mixed up my papers. Here we go. But perhaps when we better understand this parable, it will make more sense. Because there are two words used in this parable. One is seed, and the other is soil. And those are the keys to truly unlocking the meaning of this parable. Now, seeds. The seed is the internal spiritual center through which we create, first within and then in the outer. Of itself, a seed is powerless to produce anything. But once it is planted and tended, it produces after its kind. So an apple isn't going to come from a tomato seed, right? And a pumpkin isn't going to come from an apple seed. It produces after its kind once it is in soil. So what is soil? Well, soil is the level of awareness, or in other words, consciousness. Your consciousness, and hopefully that is a spiritually developed consciousness. Unity Bible teacher Jim Lewis wrote that if we all had the spiritual consciousness of life, there would be no death. If we had the spiritual consciousness of abundance, there would be no poverty. If we had the spiritual consciousness of oneness with God, there would be no insecurity or unhappiness. Now, all Scripture is based on spiritual understanding. Not that book understanding, but spiritual understanding. The Scriptures are certainly historically based, but there is an inner meaning which is only discerned by our spiritual consciousness. So now, we're going to once again take a look at this parable. So some seeds fell along the hard pathway where many people had walked and the soil's packed down. At that time, Jesus' time, farmers sowed the seed before plowing the soil. At that time, the seeds would then be exposed on the top of the soil, and the birds would have a feast. So this hard-packed soil represents the person who is not receptive to truth. They may be cynical, they may be argumentative, but they are not open and receptive. We see this in many of those who today say they're Christians, right? But they don't really act like Christians. We don't really see them putting their understanding of truth into action. They may hear the word of truth, but they don't understand it. And through their actions, through their words, through their attitude, they are rejecting the word of truth. And now we have some seed that fell on rocky ground. Well, we've all seen flowers or plants kind of finding their way up through a crack in cement, right? We go, oh, look at that. It just kind of pushes its way up there. But these seedlings have no depth of roots. And so they quickly wither and die. When we only use intellectual seeking for spiritual things, for a spiritual understanding, The seeds of truth do not get into the depths of our being, into that embodiment. We can't embody those truths. They don't get to put down deep roots in our consciousness. So we need to be rooted and grounded in truth. We need to embody the truth, not merely have an intellectual or book understanding. The next type of soil was that rocky ground. And so Jesus said it represents those who hear the word and are happy to hear it. They're joyous. And this is usually where the beginning truth student is, right? They go, this sounds great. This is wonderful. And they have that beginner's luck of manifestation. I would say that praying for the parking space, right? Oh, look at that. This is great. This truth stuff really works. This is fabulous. And they see that they believe it's going to help them become rich and successful and solve all their problems. And they are riding high, right? And then life happens. And instead of actually applying these principles, they get upset and say, well, these principles, these teachings don't work. That somehow these truth teachings were to be like a shield against any type of harm or unhappiness. They don't yet have a deeper understanding that these teachings can help them ride out these situations with an expanded vision and understanding. Many, in their enthusiasm and zeal for these new truth teachings, get carried away. They seek the quick, fast, and easy solution. These individuals don't yet have that holding power. They haven't developed the depth of consciousness. They haven't learned how to stand firmly in their faith. And instead, they pray and beg for miracles or for a parental type of God to fix everything for them. And yet we often say, right, that God does not do the dishes. Well, some of the wheat fell upon thorns. As they tried to grow, they were choked out. This third type of soil represents those who hear the word of truth, but use it selfishly to get things. They're so materially minded that their greed chokes out the truth. Now, there's nothing wrong with having wealth, but we shouldn't let it be our end goal, our driving desire. The word of truth can't grow in this type of consciousness. We must be willing to put aside all of our grand schemes and plans. I'm a great planner. Anybody else? Yeah, we love our plans. And then life happens, right? We must be willing to put aside all of our plans and allow Spirit to reveal to us another plan, another way. The seed of selfishness and greed chokes out the true seed of truth. But what if we were to say, not my will, but God's will, and then just listened? Someone talked to me about that this morning. They're waiting on the word from God. Not my will, but God's will. Try that this week. When you're all ready to put that plan down in paper, sit there and say, not my will, but God's will. And then just sit in silence and listen. Try that every day this week. Next Sunday, tell me how you did. I want to hear. Well, finally, some seed fell on good ground and produced. Some 30-fold, some 60-fold, some 100-fold. This good ground represents those who hear the word of truth, accept it unselfishly, and then they bear fruit, they co-create. In the good ground, there are variations, 30, 60, 100. There are lots of different plants, not just your plant. This means that the good ground can be further developed. Our consciousness develops over time, and at times slowly. That is why we encourage a daily practice of prayer and meditation. And if you don't yet have a daily prayer practice, you might want to reflect and see if this is because of a hard pathway soil, a rocky ground, a thorny ground. Many look for this superficially easy way, and in the end, I'm sure some of you have discovered this, that it turns out to be the most difficult way. Now, earlier, it may have seemed unjust to say that one who has not, will continue to lose. Remember that saying we said earlier? One who has will have more, one who has not will have less, and even what they have will be taken from them. But if we look at it through this understanding of seeds and soil, of the word of truth and consciousness, perhaps now it makes sense. If we take the time and effort to develop a prosperity consciousness, that good soil, then our thoughts and words like seeds will produce after their kind. If we don't take the time and effort to develop an uplifted spiritual consciousness or awareness, then our thoughts and words will continue to be filled with lack, limitation, and fear. And those seeds will produce after their kind, will produce only more lack, limitation, and fear. How then do we get that good soil consciousness or spiritual consciousness? Well, that's going to be the focus of next Sunday's talk. But in the meantime, this week, pay attention to your spoken words and track them back to your unspoken thoughts. And then stand back and examine your type of soil consciousness. Maybe you need to tend your soil, and in doing so, change your thoughts, and then change your words, your actions, and your attitudes. So this week, happy gardening. Have fun. Namaste. So now I ask you to join me and Carolyn in singing our peace song, and then we will together say our prayer for protection, and then a final song.
Thank you, Reverend Christine. We appreciate you making your way through with that. We love you through it. All right, let's sing our peace song together. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
can't hear.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you, Catherine. And thank you to everyone who helped today. And of course, special thanks to all of our prayer chaplains. I know that they're holding all of us in sacred prayer today. And today we have two prayer chaplains, Lois and Wendy, if you'd like to stand up so everyone can see you. And these two lovely people are going to be available to pray one-on-one with you in the sanctuary after the service. And you don't need to know anything. All you need to do is go up to them and say, "Would you pray with me?" They'll take it from there. And also you can fill out a prayer card if you'd like. It's in the slot in the pew in front of you. You can fill it out, and there's a prayer box in the back of the sanctuary on your right as you leave. And if you're watching us online or at any time you would like prayer, just send us an email, prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. That prayer request will get to our prayer chaplains, and they will be honored to pray with you. And of course, your prayer requests will be kept in complete confidence. Now, I want to thank someone else who is not here today, but the fruits of their labor is here. Perhaps you've noticed we have a new, beautiful flower arrangement here. So I want to thank Susan Wright for creating that, as well as the flowers arrangement in our atrium, and as well as the mums that are in our planters by the front door. So thank you, Susan Wright. Let's all thank her for continuing to do that for us. And there are, of course, others who helped today. We have our greeters, Natalie and Gail. Thank you. Our ushers, Bonnie and Deborah, and our live stream crew. I could talk today, Jim, Richard, and Marty. And I also want to, right now, just invite anyone who is here for the first time to let us know you're here. Just raise your hand if this is your first time. Oh, you can do it. Yay, she did it. So thank you for joining us. Bonnie is going to bring you a welcome package, and we are grateful for you to be here. In that welcome package is a blue form, and if you fill that form out and put it through the minister's, there's a mail slot in the minister's door. If you put that in there, then we will add you to our email list that goes out once a week. It's our newsletter, and we'll also create a badge for you. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for bringing the blessing that is you. And of course, if there's anyone online who's watching and would like to receive that information package, just send us an email. Send it to officemgr@unityhartford.org. And our office manager, Tony, will get that out to you right away. We have two opportunities for people today. We have two things we'd like to do today before people leave. One is in the Fillmore room that's down this hallway, there are blue wooden chairs. We need to take those wooden chairs out of that room and line the hallway with them. So if you can help us do that today, we'd appreciate it. Also, in the last office down that hallway on the right, you'll see there's some chairs there. And behind the chairs are what we call back jacks. Thank you. Tony and I both have trouble remembering what they're called. Back jacks. And what we want to do is get them out of that office, put them in some big trash bags I have, and they'll be taken upstairs for storage. So if any of you have a few minutes to help us with that, we'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, we would be remiss not to thank our wonderful music director, Carolyn. So thank you, Carolyn, for all the wonderful music today. And we have a final song, so please tell us what that is.
Yeah, so this song is from, I think the movie's called Horton Hears a Who. Yeah, yep, it's random, but it's called, the song's called Let It Grow. And I really love the words. It's all about planting a seed. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Plant a seed inside the earth. Just one way to know its worth when we celebrate the world. Celebrate the world. Come on and celebrate the world. All you gotta do is live your life, be true, live your life, be true. Never be afraid to grow, grow. It don't matter how you got it, it's yours now, don't you hide it, let it grow. Show it, just one way to show you know it. Let it grow, let it grow. Just believe and you're almost there. Use your heart to show you care. Come on and celebrate the world. Celebrate the world. Come on and celebrate the world. All you gotta do is live your life, be true. Live your life, be true, and never be afraid to grow. It don't matter how you got it, it's yours now, don't you hide it, let it grow, let it grow, let the love inside you show it, just one way to show you know it, let it grow. Show your worth now. Open up your heart and let it grow. It don't matter how you got it, it's yours now, don't you hide it, let it grow. Just one way to show you know it, let it grow, let it grow. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today, both here in the sanctuary and online. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And we invite you to join us Wednesday evening for our meditation service that's live streamed to Facebook at 7 p.m. I got a little too big for my britches, and I thought I could remember that. So now I have to, now I have to read it from the paper. And we look forward to seeing you next Sunday at 10:30 right here in our sanctuary or online on Facebook or our website. Have a wonderful week of gardening.